Hi everyone! In this lesson, I'm going to teach you what a target audience is and how to define the market that you're trying to design for. And then you're going to practice identifying different target audiences in a very short 4-question quiz, with the last question being a short answer essay question. So in the following slides, you're going to learn about what a target audience is and how to define your own. So a target audience, to define that term, is the specific group of people that design is created for. Just like a movie is made for certain viewers or a video game is designed for specific players, graphic designs are created with particular people in mind. So when we're creating designs, we want to know who our target audience is. So this presentation will show you kind of how to define your own and figure out who your target audience would be. So target audience is the group of people who will most likely be interested in or affected by your design. When designers create work, they think carefully about who will end up seeing this design. That could be age, gender, specific interests. What do they care about? Their values, hobbies, or needs? Where will they see it? Social media, billboards, websites, magazines. And what problem does my design solve for them? Is it entertainment? Is it information? Is it inspirational? All of these things will factor into how you create your design to make sure that you're hitting the market that you are defining for yourself. So an example of this, the example I'm going to use is if you're designing a poster for a video game tournament at your school, your target audience is probably students aged 14 to 18 who enjoy gaming. Your design would look very different than a poster for a knitting club, even though both are for students at your school. The age group here is super important. Like if you're specifically designing a poster for a video game tournament at a school, it should say high school, most likely. You want to make sure that you have that age group in there. So here are some things to consider when designing for an audience. The first one being culture. Different cultures have different values, beliefs, and communication styles. So understanding these differences, we can tailor our designs to be more effective and engaging. The demographics. Knowing the demographics of your target audience allows the designer to craft content that speaks to the audience in a language that they understand. So demographics could include like age, location, that kind of thing. Language, an integral part of communication. Not understanding the language of a target audience means that the message may not be communicated effectively. That one's pretty basic, but if you're like designing a poster for a Hispanic community, you want to make sure that it's translated into Spanish. The tone is also something we can consider, which can help communicate the designer's attitude or opinion on a particular topic. So it's important to choose the right tone for the intended audience. If you wanted to create a poster for the video game club and you're mostly juniors in high school, you wouldn't use a tone for like a little kid event like 3 or 4-year-olds. The tone is going to be different for that of different age groups. Education, taking into account the level of education of the readers, helps to ensure that the material is appropriate for their understanding rather than too simplistic or advanced. So you really want to make sure that, like, if you're designing your video game poster, you're not using graduate level vocabulary terms, as we know that the viewer would be in high school. And interest. When your design is tailored to the interests of your audience, it will be more likely to connect with them and leave a positive impression. So in the following questions in this assignment, you're going to practice identifying target audiences and decide who the target audience is for the business ideas. So there's 4 questions that you're going to go through to figure out who the target audience is. And in the last one, you are going to give a short answer response defining your target audience based on the business idea that I have given you. Let me know if you have any questions about this.